All these extra steps. Greetings and salutations. Greetings, my friends. Greetings to everybody. Y'all, welcome Deann to the show. Usually it's on her channel. This time it's on my channel. So that's why it looks different today, y'all. Deann, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Oh, I'm Deann, and my channel is Deann Shield Maiden Tarot, and it's about politics, and we do paranormal because me and Tanya love paranormal. So we started doing this show because it was just fun, and that's about it. I have my little oils that I sell, and that's it. Not much.
All right, y'all. So today, this show is going to be, this one is, let's go ahead and say it now. This is a trigger warning. We are going to be talking about the hurricanes and the African mythology lore of how the hurricanes came to be and what they're all about and why they're so devastating. So just to start, y'all, I'm going to read this to you. Okay, so no video. Y'all just have to bear with me reading.
I have a little thing about that I looked up too, so we'll see if yours is the same thing.
All right. So here we go. This is African American folklore. Hurricanes are the anger of enslaved ancestors. There are African American folk tales about hurricanes being the energy source of our ancestors, stolen Africans, beaten and lost at sea. This recent hurricane season and record ocean warmings of 101 degrees Fahrenheit has captured the world's attention and has us all questioning what to expect next. And the talk of hurricanes and history of slavery leads me to ask, are African ancestors angrier than ever and showing that anger by releasing the spirit power of horrible hurricanes to destroy Florida for the disrespect shown? Hurricane science has proven that most are formed around Africa's coast and follow the same path as the slave ships. Oh, goodness gracious. There are African American folk tales about hurricanes being the energy source of our ancestors, stolen Africans, beaten and lost at sea. Can hurricanes be a mythical avenger that comes to right the wrongs of our ancestors, souls of the sea who unleash their wrath annually upon their oppressors? All right, there you go.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I got. Well, because when you said you wanted to talk about this topic, I didn't know a lot about it. So I just looked up just a little snippet thing. And it said, according to NASA's research scientists, the hurricanes that hit the Atlantic coast are born in a storm system off the west coast of Africa, which travels the identical route of the transatlantic slave trade. They cannot just come from anywhere in the world due to the need for hot and humid air. Some say they call it hurricane because it is the spirit of a Black woman for what they did in slavery. All hurricanes start in West Africa at the same spot where the slaves were put on the ships. They follow the same trail that the slave ships followed.
So, and they had the nerve to name that the Cape of Good Hope. How horrible is that? Yeah, they call it the Cape of Good Hope, where they enslaved, raped, beat, starved men, women, and children. So the one thing that I have to say about the hurricanes is there's a change since 2020. There has been a change in our hurricanes, and a lot of that. I've got things going on in my thing here. Hold on. There we go. Oh, I hope I didn't just disconnect my chat.
I don't think so. Let's see. How do you know? No, you guys see, there's a Spirit Beyond the Stars is here. Hi, Spirit Beyond the
Yep,
Stars.
I'm still connected. Okay, so but these hurricanes are headed towards the UK. They are making a big turn now. They're not just hitting the Gulf Coast anymore. They are making big, wide, arching turns and getting closer and closer to hitting the UK.
You know, I never had thought about the slave. I didn't know that they came from Africa and that they followed the same route and all that. And it does make sense, but in this entertainment purposes only, guys. But in my head, you know, I sit there and I've told Dale, I'm like, is God pissed at us? Is he angry with us? Because I feel like he is, because not only with the slavery, but what we're doing to the Hispanic people and that too is like it's like we have learned nothing from what happened in Germany. We sat there and said, well, how did those people sit by and let all this happen and do nothing and say nothing? And we are finding out because it's happening now.
And that, I think that's the scariest thing of all. In these times where we can see the treachery and debauchery of humankind, we're allowing it to happen again.
Yes. And it's sickening.
I hate to jump into politics, but
right.
People need to understand that we, the people, have the ability. We elect the government, not the other way around. All we have to do is to put them down, is to stand up and invalidate this whole government. But the whole thing is, we have allowed, we've allowed them to take so much of our power away, and we keep giving it to the ultra rich, to the ultra powerful. We gave them so much more, and they just took from us until they left us bare, naked, and powerless. We, at some point, this does tie into the hurricanes. Mm-hmm. At some point, we as a people have got to stand up and say, no, this is wrong. And even if you can't do anything about it, when you say in your mind, I am not a part of this, and you speak out against it, you have done something. The people who stand by and stay quiet and, well, it's not happening to me, so I'm not gonna worry about it. You know, we can always pray. You know, that's something. We can always pray. We can always send our energy. We can send love. We can feed people who are hungry. We can help people get away from la migra when they're in the streets. We can provide safe havens for people. So we are not powerless. We just have to be brave. And the one thing that this government is banking on is us being good little sheep and staying in our place and just being quiet and keeping our heads down. Because we don't, you know.
I know. And I know people that I've talked to this about, and they're like, well, I've got my own problems. I don't have time to worry about that. I'm like, what if it was your child? What if it was your mother? What if it was your father? You know, I mean, how can you just not care? And it's just like, it don't affect me, so I don't care. And I thought in 2025, we would be done with racism. We would have learned our lesson. But look, we would have rather people, a lot of majority of America, well, I think there was cheating, but a lot of them would rather vote for a convicted felon, a convicted, you know what, rapist, than white man, than to vote for an intelligent, articulate Black woman.
America showed exactly where it was in the election. We showed exactly who we are and even though there was a whole lot of theft and grifting and all of that going on, still we were shown that the American people, above all, are freaking racists. And above all.
They are. And I told you that I thought about moving to Mexico because I love Mexico. I love the culture, the food, the people, everything. But I'm a little nervous because of my skin color, because of where I come from, because of the color of my hair. I don't, they're going to associate me, I worry, with those people that are like that. And I couldn't blame them if they did. But when I went there, they treated me with nothing but love and respect and kindness. But there is a large amount of Americans that are wanting to leave the country right now. In fact, they said that there was the phones are like going crazy with people who are wanting to leave. At the first time, there was a lot of people, but the second time, there's people wanting to migrate to other countries.
Oh, there's lots of folks leaving. There's lots of folks leaving. But running away isn't going to solve anything either. If you run away, problems. What happens when there's an uprising there? At some point, we've got to stand our ground. At some point, we've got to say, no, this is ours. Not yours. The land. I think the biggest travesty is selling land. How can a person own what they didn't create? How and who did they buy it from? So everybody's living on stolen land, buying and selling stolen land. Because how can you call ownership to something you had no hand in creating? You didn't even discover it, but you're going to say this is mine and I'm going to charge you to live on it? No, everything is upside down and backwards.
The West Coast, there, Texas, California, Utah, a lot of that area, there was.
Oh, you're frozen, Deann. Uh-oh. I hope y'all can hear me. Jackie B, can you hear me? Please tell me if you can hear me. Thank you, Jen Steve. I don't know how this is going. I don't think she even realizes that she's frozen. Oh my goodness. That is so strange, y'all. All right. Well, thank you. Thank you. Okay, she done went out. She'll be back in a minute. All right. Thank you, y'all. Thank you for being so responsive. I love y'all. I love every one of y'all. And there is something going on. Y'all, I want to say this while we're waiting for Deann to come back. If you are having all kinds of weird computer issues or phone issues, if your telephone, your cell phone is behaving crazy, we have some crazy, I don't know if this is the Schumann resonance or what, but we are being bombarded and it is messing with connectivity and just all frequency connectivity. So be mindful, y'all. And if you use like AirDrop to pay, be careful because you might be setting yourself up to get robbed right now because everything is so unstable. Pull out that physical card and put it in the machine if you have to, or tap rather than using like AirPay. There's some crazy stuff going on with the frequency. Thank you, Jill. Thank you. There she is.
What happened?
She's back. You froze like a popsicle.
I just did it. All my screen went blank. I'm like, oh my God, are we talking about something that they're finally shutting us off for again that they don't want us to talk about?
And see, my screen keeps going, it's blanking out and going in and out. So I like I just told everybody, there's a lot. I don't know if it's the Schumann resonance or what, but there's a disturbance in the force.
I didn't know what to think about that. I was like, oh my gosh. But what did Jill say? My parents
and
actually
Jill,
believe.
Thank you, Jill. Jill gave us a $2 super chat.
Thanks, Jill. Sorry, guys. I don't know what happened. I was just talking, and all of a sudden, my screen was blank. I thought, oh, they cut YouTube cut us off. I said something I wasn't supposed to say, or they didn't want me to say. you know. But yeah, Tanya, it's sad that in 2025 we're still here, that we still have not passed this up. I see things all the time with people of color. They're driving through a neighborhood, they're minding their own business, not doing anything, get pulled over for nothing, sitting on a park bench, having a cookout, trying to whatever, no matter what they do, it's like you're not safe. And I don't know. I think there's too many white people that think it don't affect them. They don't care. And I think it's going to affect them. It's going to start affecting them. And when they didn't care about other people's, how are they going to expect other people are going to care about them? What is that saying about they came for the Jews, nobody said anything. They came for the black people, nobody said anything. They came for this group, nobody said anything. Then they came for me, and there was nobody to come for me.
Nobody. Well, there was nobody to speak for me.
Or to speak for me, yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that's exactly what we're seeing right now. But this is also an opportunity, because through all this tragedy and upheaval, we are being given the opportunity to show our humanity, to show our human kindness. And it is an individual thing. The government is trying to suppress the people. And the only thing that's different is now all the people see that the government is the bad guy. But the government has always been the bad guy. It's just obvious right now. But the other thing that we see right now is that a whole bunch of our collective, our brothers and sisters, people who we live around, are straight up hateful bigots who don't give a damn about their fellow man, don't care about kids, they don't care about nothing. All they want to do is be exclusive and hate on everybody else. And that is what has to be addressed. We can't move forward. Everybody says, oh, well, you just ignore those people over there. Just do you. No, when those people are shooting at you.
Somebody said you're muted, but I hear you.
Oh, you know what? I bet we are being clocked by YouTube.
Can you guys hear me?
No, see, Cindy Lee said I can hear her. Leah Salva said you're muted.
Can you hear me, you guys?
Jen Sneed says I hear her. Yes, Cindy Lee said yes, we can hear you. We hear you. Yeah.
Okay, so Mary hears us both.
Maybe it's just Leah Salva. It may be Leah Salva's. Okay, so it's just hers. Okay, everybody else can hear us.
Ooh. Did you hear about and like I said, entertainment purposes only. I can't say this is allegedly, but about they have been ICE has been loading people up on these cargo planes. You talk about slave ships. They are loading people up on these cargo planes, and they're finding bodies that they're dropping into the ocean, that have been dropped into the ocean with their hands and feet.
So the United States government is kidnapping and murdering people.
They don't want to spend the gas, because you can drive to Mexico. Why put them on a cargo plane? Why?
Because it's cruelty. This is evil. Everything that he is doing, it's about cruelty. It's about how bad that one person can make it for somebody else, how to upset all these neighborhoods. This is all an energy harvesting. He wants everybody miserable, scared, sad, and broke. And all these big businesses are holding his hand, going on right along with it. You see, ain't none of these. Well, there are very, very few of these big businesses that are standing up and saying, no, this is not the way to go. And I'm going to call out, and I want y'all, because y'all, one company I can say that has threw up both middle fingers to old DJT, Arizona Tea. They have not, after all of this, they still have not raised their prices on nothing. In fact, if you go to Winco, you can get a 99-cent tea for 69 cents.
I know we tried to get groceries. It was like $160 and we got nothing. Barely nothing.
I got birthday cards and dog treats before we came on this show. $100 for dog treats. For dog treats. I came out with 2 bags of groceries. Dog treats. Every one of her dog treats are $11 to start.
He wants us to be peasants. And I guess there's some law he's trying to make that makes him a king. He thinks he should have no oversight at all, be a king. And I was looking up some stuff. You were talking about the people that have been found on shore. You know, they're saying that it's not, but it just seems suspect because there was a plane. They had a stewardess that admitted these people were bound, their hands and legs. And she said they were talking about if the plane crashes, what to do. And she goes, what should I do with them? He said, let them go. He didn't care.
Oh, so they have moved Ghislaine Maxwell from Florida to Texas?
Yep. He's going to pardon her.
So the whole world knows that and I'm going to say it on here too. Y'all, GOP from now on forever stands for the Grand Old Pedophile Party. Period. Yep. The Grand Old Pedophile. Call them what they freaking are.
Well, you know, there's children in ICE. I guess there's numerous reports that they're getting treated really bad because I was thinking what's happening to the women and the children. And they had one child, he developed a rash and ICE refused to let him change his underwear for 4 days. And it's just another child who was diagnosed with autism and ADHD. He was refused his meds. And then they had a testimony that was submitted where the officer said the children smelled like poop. You know, he called it SIH, you know, and in which the other officer said that's because they are. So this is telling me what they are thinking about children.
This is the Nazi freaking party. And right here in America, we have people that are embracing that, calling themselves, I'm a Nazi. What's up, my Nazi? Yeah. Treat them accordingly.
Well, Donald Trump, he and his administration, they're trying to eliminate something called the Flores settlement. This settlement requires immigrant children to be kept in a clean and safe environment, and they're not allowed to be held in confinement for weeks on end. Well, a federal judge is going to be deciding this case on August 8th, so soon. And if it fails, there's going to be no limit on how long the government can hold those children or how they're going to be treated. There'll be no oversight on how they're treated. They can hold them in those cages, things like that, as long as they want. They treat these children and people worse than animals. And it makes me, when I go to Mexico, it's like they say, ¿De dónde eres? Where are you from? And I want to, you know, I have to say Estados Unidos, but I want to hold my head down. And I've never felt like that. Like I'm ashamed to tell them where I'm from, and I want to say I'm Canadian.
I have been ashamed to be an American since 2016. The first time they let him in this office, I have been, and I'm sorry, y'all, forgive me for that use of that, for dropping that F-bomb, but I'm sorry. And we need to tell our audience, y'all, Deann, y'all, this is going to be our last Freaky Friday for a while. So we're gonna be taking a break for a little while. So I know we're gonna leave y'all on a banger though. So
you guys, we'll be back. I have a surgery and I've got some things that health and family obligations that I'm going to have to step back for a little bit. But as soon as I heal and get better, then you know we'll come back and do shows. You know. So, but I really enjoy doing these shows. And the subject that we talked about last week about the MK Ultra and all the stuff about Epstein's niece and all that, this is stuff that I thought, well, we might get shut off, but I don't care. I care. I like my channel. I love you guys. I love seeing you guys, but people got to stand up. People cannot just sit there with their mouth closed and say nothing while this goes on. And so I feel like, you know, hopefully this gets out there. But, you know, Tanya, I wonder, do you think if any MAGA people see our show, see any of these shows, are they going to care? Are they going to care? Because there is nothing that you can say about that man that they will believe, even if it comes out of his own mouth.
Hold on. hold on. Now, you know that I got a racist prick of a maggot living right next, I mean, across my balcony from me. So, and let me tell you, in the last 2 weeks, the Trump flag has come off his house. His red, white, and blue floodlights are all white now. He took the red and the blue down. There's no Trump flag. No, he has been quiet as a flipping mouse, and I have been giggling my ass off.
But we got to hurt too for it. You know, when it affects his Social Security, when it affects his grocery price, they're hurting. It had to take them hurting personally to care, but we're hurting too. But we tried to warn them, not because we wanted to be right, but because we cared about all of us, not just our group. You know, we thought it's supposed to be the United States of America, not the divided states of America. And now when they have these hurricanes like you're talking about in Maryland, I think it was, they had a big hurricane refusing to help them, but they'll help the red states. They're supposed to be cutting checks. Who knows? They lie all the time. But they said they'll only go to the red states. So it's like, he acts like this money for the hurricanes and all this stuff. Like when they give help to Gaza, he says, well, they didn't thank me. Like it's coming out of his pocket. It's our money. It's our money. And he thinks it's his own personal.
You gotta take that out. The Supreme Court, they installed him to do what he is doing. Our whole government is complicit. They allowed this to happen. They're in the background cheering this on. And half of them people, some of them people on the Supreme, you want to know who's hidden in those tapes besides old Donnie Boy? I'm guaranteeing you that some folks on the Supreme Court have been to that freaking island.
Oh, absolutely. And the media. And CBS, ABC, NBC, all the media, because they're not covering the protest. They're not covering that. They're afraid of him. They're bending the knee. They're complying in advance. There's a bunch of them on those tapes too. I guarantee it. Mm-hmm. And so they are trying to keep this on the down low. So they are protecting. They say they're against abortion because they care about the babies. But do they care once they're born? They don't care. Do they care about what's happening on Epstein Island and other islands and Bohemian Grove? Mm-hmm. You know, and it's no wonder the hurricanes, that the ancestors, the gods are angry, you know, and I feel like I thought of the flood. You know, you always talk about Noah's Ark, the flood, and I see all this flooding and I'm like, oh my gosh, are we just going to be, you know what I mean? I think we need to be forgiven for what we've done and turn our ways and start being better.
We need to ask for forgiveness because that's the first thing that needs to be done. And people need to call things as they truly are. I think that's the biggest thing. What I meant. When we see people doing horrible things, we need to shout it. You know, we need to bring shame back. We need to be humiliating these ice ages. We need to be, heckling the crap out of them, chasing them trucks, locking them fools in the backs of those trucks, flattening the tires. You know, let me stop. That's inciting. I apologize, y'all.
Well, I tell you what, I've told you my grandson, he's autistic. He works at a car wash. He doesn't drive. He doesn't have an ID. They're going to get him one. And he is the most loving kid you ever seen. He would, if you come over, Tanya, he'd say, as long as he knew you were my friend, he'd think you were family. He'd go give you a big old hug. He loves everybody. But I tell you, if I was there and I seen an ice truck try to touch him or my family or my friends, they're going to have to kill me. Yep. They're going to have to, because I will die defending them. And I'll put myself in front of anybody that I see that's happening to, that I can help.
Spirits Beyond the Stars gave us a $20 super sticker. Thank you, Spirits Beyond the Stars.
That was so nice of you. And I appreciate too. You send me all these cool things and I try to look at them when I have time. But yes, thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Thank you. Thank you.
We appreciate all you guys. But you know, and I know it sounds like I'm ranting, but it's just I care. I do care. And I just don't understand, Tanya, how some people can just not care. Can see all this and put the blinders on. It don't affect me. It don't affect me.
Yeah. Yeah. You're like Mickey Mouse says, I read today they are asking young women with no children, why aren't you having children? And is there a reason they can't have children at their doctor's office? Since when do they ask that? And that's crazy. You know, here we are, women being put, we're cows. They have turned us into freaking brood cows.
But you know what, Tanya? And I know this is sad. They want people that look like me, that are white and blonde hair and blue eyes. They want them having the babies. They don't want the brown or the black people having the babies. They have actually sterilized those women. When they had those things in 2016, there was women that were forcibly sterilized, not to have children. They put things in black communities to keep them from having children.
Syphilis. One other thing is syphilis. They literally tried to genocide us with a sexually transmitted diseases. Oh God, this is our American government. Please understand, when you see the beast, call it the devil.
Well, I want to speak this lady's name because this lady needs to be known. We talked about them wanting us to have babies. This is the party that's supposed to care about babies. Well, there is a woman called Iris Monteroso Lemus. She was arrested and put in a private detention center in early April. She was 4 to 5 months pregnant then, and unfortunately she lost her baby in ICE custody. To make matters worse, she gave birth to a stillborn baby while shackled. Just days later, they deported her. For 3 days, she was screaming in excruciating pain, and ICE did nothing. The food they're giving them has maggots in it, they say. One lady was taken from Miami. They took her and she would get a ham sandwich to eat every day. She was allowed to take a cold shower for 7 minutes once every week. You know, and then when they did let her go because she was citizen, they shipped her to Texas without telling her family. She couldn't call. She couldn't get access to lawyers. When they finally let her go, she had no phone, no money, nothing, just dubbed her. She had to rely on the kindness of strangers just to stay alive.
And they're doing this on purpose.
Yeah, they told that lady
what we are seeing. I'm telling y'all, this is 1930s Nazi Germany. Everything that was done then is being done now. The only thing that's different is that the people that they are kidnapping aren't being put on trains. They're being put on airplanes and boats and disappeared into the backs of vans. We need to denounce this government, period.
Yeah, they told her that they would have to, they told her family that the baby, that the stillborn, they would have to pay to send it to Honduras. You're going to have to pay this. And she was married. I think she was married to a United States citizen. Not that it even matters. You know what I mean? It shouldn't matter.
That's the whole thing. When they show you who they are. And that's why I keep saying to everybody, please stop believing that the government is ever going to do anything right. It was never invented for rightness. It was never invented for us. It was a mechanism to keep us subservient. That's why we ain't got nothing now. Americans, we pay the most for the worst health care on the planet. We pay the most for the worst health care on the planet.
And do you know what else too? If you go to Mexico, say you overstayed your visa a little bit, you get a slap on the wrist. They'll give you a little fine, go on back. You know, here it is a misdemeanor. It's a matter of paperwork. It's no different than you jaywalked. It should be that kind of a fine. Your paperwork needs to be in order. But if they feel like they have to deport people, which I think, people that have lived here for years and worked hard and have proven themselves to be an asset to the community. Why? But if they feel they're got to do that, why can't they treat people with decent respect? And you know what I mean? As human beings, you do not have to treat people. And I don't want to say like dogs, because my dog is babied and spoiled rotten. That dog is treated. So they'd be happy to be treated like Sadie. Why can't they treat people with decency? But we go there, and now there are people with MAGA hats that are going to Mexico, and they're being told to leave. And I have a friend that lives in Mexico, and I said, I'm sorry, but if they get their butt kicked, I'm going to sit there with you and we'll eat some popcorn and watch.
Look, you know what? This is what blows my mind. It's like, how incompetent can you be? You're going to go to Mexico and sit in a Mexican restaurant where you can't see the kitchen, and you're going to sit there with your big hate hat on, and you're going to be sitting there and you're going to be ingesting so much spit and snot and other crap. I would just sit there and laugh. I would sit there like this and watch them eat.
I
would have been. How does that taste? How's that cheese?
You sure it's cheese?
I would be on them all the time. I'm like, you must really enjoy the taste of spit in your food to be walking around with that stupid attire on. You want people to adulterate your food. You're begging for it. People are nasty these days. They don't, come on, we all watch The Help. We all know about the chocolate pie. Yeah.
I remember that.
We all know about the chocolate pie. I wonder how many extra logs are in some of them bean burritos.
Yeah. Hopefully none in mine, because I'll tell you what, I think they knew when I went there. I tried my hardest to speak Spanish. They knew I respected them, and I was there because I love if you treat anybody usually, if you treat them with respect and decency and kindness, you'll get it back. But they're not being treated with this respect, decency, and kindness. And that's what worries me, Tanya, is like, I go there. Are they going to think, well, what are you doing here? But I didn't go for this.
Spirit.
Thank you.
$20 super chat. Thank you, Spirit.
So
Thank
nice.
you.
But yeah, I tell and the thing is, I got to tell you this, they sit there and they say, well, here's what I think it is. I think a lot of poor white folks want to have somebody to blame besides themselves for their own situation. Yeah. So they think they can blame. They have leaders that are telling them, blame the black folks, blame the brown folks. It's their fault you ain't got a job. It's their fault that it's their fault. So it's in their best interest to keep us separate, to keep us fighting, to keep us apart, and the thing is now the farms, they have all this fruit and vegetables that are rotting in the field. And it's like, all right, there's your job. There's your job. You go out in the heat for 10 hours a day for the wages they were being paid, and you go do that job.
Yep, you go do it. It's all freed up. It's all freed up. Look at Elizabeth said, I have been posting restaurants. When you see Ice La Migra come in to eat, put some stool softeners in their food. Oh my goodness. Yeah, let them be crapping themselves all over the place. Let them walk around smelling like shit. Yeah, right on.
I know. I just they're going to get
now we got to say it. This is for entertainment and educational purposes only.
Although, it'd be very tempting for somebody to do that. The thing is they're treating these people. They spent, I think in 1992, I heard the undocumented people here they paid $92 billion into Social Security. And they're not getting any of it. If they're not citizens, they're not getting any of it. So that has kept our Social Security afloat. And now they are deporting all these people. And they're saying, well, Social Security is about broke. Well, You're deporting people that are picking our foods, people that are hard workers, that are kind, that are decent, that are helping prop up our Social Security. And then you're going to complain about the prices, of groceries. It's your own dang fault. It ain't our fault though, dang it.
But just the whole thing is, this is all a part of the plan, and we have to be. This is nothing that happened. Donnie did this to us on purpose. All these tariffs, he made us poor. He fired all the workers. He went after Social Security. He destroyed America, and he is the one that is doing this. And this is not organic, but he is being helped by the Supreme Court, by both houses of Congress, because nobody is stopping him from doing that. And there is a balance of power. So people, do not be fooled. This is a government-wide takeover. This is not organic. They are doing this to us. They are all on board with Project 2025. They want to destroy this country. They want to enslave us as a people. Be prepared, y'all, because the crescendo happens this weekend. Let go of all the bull crap that you've been holding on to and create space so that all of the stuff that's going to happen will bypass you. Consider this Passover, y'all. Mark your house. Let go of all this political mumbo jumbo. Elevate yourself so that what's going to happen, you'll be protected from. And that's all I'm going to say, because if you've been working on you, you are fine already. You are just fine. All it takes is for you to be working on yourself.
Yeah. And we're going to have to help one another, because times are going to get hard, and we are going to need each other. And so, light is stronger than the darkness. Light is more powerful than the darkness. The darkness is trying. It's a battle of not right versus left, but good versus evil, dark versus light. And so we've, just like you said, Tanya, we've got to try to remember to be in the light. And it's hard. I know it's hard, because the media just bombards us with, bad news after bad news. And when you think he can't get lower, he gets lower and lower. I mean, I think he's done past hell and gone and given a devil the run for his money, So I have to, for sanity purposes, sometimes, I have to step back from this, because it can get overwhelming. And sometimes I have to, even though it's breaking my heart, the stuff, I have to just pray. I have to just try to listen to music. I have to try to find happiness in my family and my friends. But what'd you say, spirits? What they wished upon us only will bounce off the back to them threefold. Yes.
Oh,
because,
yeah. Everything they wish on we reverse it back on thee. Oh, yes.
Yes.
With the power of 3 times 3. Oh, yeah.
I know in Wicca, they say whatever you, like, we're spells, when you do a bad spell, whatever you do bad to somebody, it can come back to you 3 times. So you don't want to do bad, because, you want good to come to you. You want to do good. But, and even, in Christian religion, they say what you reap, you will sow. So it's going to come back to them. It is. And is it bad that I want to see it? I want to see it. I want to see them get their just desserts. And I know that's probably not being very light, but
that just, if you don't see it, be satisfied just with the knowledge that it is happening. So, because if you're hanging around to see it, you might be too close to the action.
True. I have a little brother. He keeps telling me, we're going to have a civil war. We're going to have a civil war. He's been saying that for a long time. And I'm like, well, shoot, I don't have nothing to fight with, and I don't have the ability to fight.
No. The Civil War is going to be the maggots and the Republicans. It's going to be them against each other. You ain't got to worry about nothing. They are the ones that are fighting each other. They are the ones that are now all confused. It's like, wait, but we loved you yesterday, and today we have to hate you.
They made the monster, and they can't control the monster now. And I think Stephen Miller, I think he is a big part of this too. That man is evil.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Do you see them being prosecuted? Stephen Miller, crimes against humanity.
I see him, Miller specifically. I see him being brought up on charges of crimes against humanity.
That's what I felt.
I see him facing a firing squad.
You know what? He deserves it. He deserves it. Look at all the lives he's ruined, the family he's separated. You know, he's, like I said, what did they do to the people in Germany, the Nazis? They later, you know, they said we were just following orders.
Yeah.
You know, all the people that are ICE that it says we were just following orders. And do you feel like they're trying to get them? They cover their face. They won't identify themselves. You know, do you feel like they're going to pass anything to make them have to do that? Because what's happening is people are getting stuff on Amazon. They're getting these outfits on Amazon, covering
people are
their
getting
face.
kidnapped.
They're getting kidnapped, and it's not ICE. Yeah. And so I don't blame people for not going willingly. No, I wouldn't go willingly. You don't know where you're being taken. You don't know who's taking you, where they're taking you. I wouldn't go willingly either. And I'd fight anybody who tried to take me. So, but I want to know, you know, I think those people that are ICE, they're ashamed to tell a lot of their family what they do for a living. I've heard some of them told their family they got disowned.
Good.
So that's good on their family.
May everything that they are doing be done to them and their families threefold. Every crime that they perpetrate on somebody else, may it be returned to their family. May somebody in their bloodline suffer from what they have done to others. So be it. Fair is fair, right? Fair is fair. Turnabout is fair play. So if you can destroy other people's families, then you should be prepared to have your family destroyed. If you're going to go out there and beat up people, I know you saw that video of those policemen yanking that black man out the car and beating the shit out of him. And he hadn't did anything. What they do to us is what will be done to their loved ones. And because that's the only way they're going to learn, when it's their kids being face down with somebody's boot in the back of their neck. Oh, then they're gonna worry about it. Oh, that's not right. But we have so many people with a badge, with a hateful heart, that just go out there wanting to victimize people. The kids who got picked on in elementary school now got a badge and a gun, and they want to get back at everybody who hurt their feelings when they were a child. I'm sick. I am sick to death of these immature, doggone cretins that we live around. They had a guy
who was in his car, and he was taking his little toddler to preschool, and they pulled him over, and they smashed his window in front of his kid. He could have had glass in that kid's eye, and he begged. He says, "Please, 3 minutes. Give me 3 minutes to get his mother here." They would not. And they have snatched people up and left the children standing there with no one. They had a 64-year-old woman who'd been in this country for 47 years. She was gardening, and they just went and grabbed her and picked her up and took her. You know, and now
this is what they want to do. This is modern day slavery. This is government sanctioned kidnapping, human trafficking, and everything else, exploitation, government sanctioned murder.
And, you know, I was picked on in school, too. I had thick glasses, you guys, Coke bottles, very thick. That's why I went and worked for an optometrist and ophthalmologist, because my sister was blind. My mom was blind in one eye. I was legally blind. I had to have stuff here. And I ended up having surgery in my eyes, but I was picked on a lot in school. But you know what? It made me not want to pick on people. It made me know what it feels like to be hurt. So I never wanted to hurt anybody like that. So anybody I seen that was being picked on or wasn't being treated, I wanted to be their friend. So I've always gone for people that were kind of the underdog, because I was the underdog. And the underdogs, we are the best people in the world, because we are true blue friends. You know, we weren't friends with each other to be popular. We weren't friends with each other because any of that. We just loved each other for who each other was, quirks and all. You know,
probably more because of the quirks, because we were the oddballs. They called me Sasquatch. They called me she-male. Tomboy was just the everyday. But Tomboy made me feel stronger. But they called me Sasquatch. That one was the one that hurt me. Number one, because I ain't never had no hair, and you gonna call me a hairy beast. You know,
right? And you know what, Tanya? You are one of the women. You are a person that, I mean, without any hair is beautiful. Honest to God, you look beautiful. You don't even need hair. I think it'd feel weird if you had hair because I'm so used to looking at you this way, you know?
You're used to my alien look.
Well, I must love aliens because, you know, I think you're beautiful. And, you know, I just, you think that too, you know, a lot of these people that Epstein Island, those things that we were talking about last week, they do things to other kids because it was done to them. You would think, okay, this was done to me. I want to protect children so it never happens to another child. So people go two ways with that, you know? I don't know how that makes them feel strong. You know, if they say they're Christians, like they say they are, they're not nationals, Christian nationalists, they're going to have to face, they believe they're going to have to face a God. Would you want to be them and face God with him knowing all the things that you've done to people and your life review being standing in front of the person that you cannot lie to, that knows it all, and you're going to be judged for that? So don't you think they'd have a fear of being judged by God if they say they're Christian? It's whatever they're following wasn't Jesus or Yeshua, you know? But it's just, it blows my mind that they can say that, or they can say they care about babies and treat babies like this, you know, and treat women like this. It's a patriarchy. It's the white man.
That's exactly what it is. And what they are trying to do is they're trying to stop the divine feminine. Everything that they're doing is an assault on the divine feminine. Everything Donnie is doing is an assault on the divine feminine.
And look what's happening. Look what's happening.
It must. It's got to happen. It's got to.
Earthquakes, hurricanes, all this stuff is happening in places it's never happened before, like it's never happened before. You know, if that is the spirit of the Black women that were enslaved, or, you know, or the ancestors that are angry, you know, then we as a country need to apologize for the things that we have done sincerely, not just the words, sincerely apologize for the things that we have done and our ancestors have done. They had these Native American guys. It was so cool. They were in their horses and they were in their full dress and stuff. And they were going down the street saying, we're the real Americans. And even they're getting caught up in these ICE raids. The Native Americans are. But I just, you know, I got to have hope. I got to keep hope that things are going to get better, but they're not going to get better if we don't do anything. Do you think there'll be another protest like that No Kings one? I feel like there's going to even be bigger ones if they try to touch Social Security.
Yeah. Well, that's where the Civil War is going to come in. The Civil War is going to come over Social Security. Yeah. And somebody said they feel like Jackie said the stock market's going to crash again. Yes, absolutely. Then it's going to actually crash. Like in the 18, it's going to be a big crash. Yeah.
A lot of these young folks are saying, well, these older people, they should have, what did they say? Invested their money or saved their money. It's like, we couldn't because we were raising you. We were raising the kids and we were just getting paycheck to paycheck. There was nothing to invest or to save, you know, for a lot of us, you know. They'll see when they're old. When they become old, they're going to, you know, they need help. They're working now. So they're jealous of the older people that are finally getting to retire after years and years and years of work. But I think it's going to be a revolution. And those same people that stormed the Capitol like you said, they're going to be coming. They're armed. They're going to be coming after them.
Well, you see that the shaman, Trump's biggest fan, is now anti-Trump.
He is?
Yeah.
Since when? I didn't hear that one.
Just Google the shaman. It's about the sex trafficking. I'm telling you, that was the straw that broke the camel's back. They a bunch of them could not see past that. And the one thing that I can say that the quote unquote Democrats are doing good is by not letting the pressure off.
Well, look at Elon. They were just best buddies, and now they're enemies. And Rupert Murdoch. He tried to sue him, and then he's pissed. And so he's getting the billionaires starting to get mad at him. He's going to lose his, and now this Epstein thing won't go away. It was so funny in Scotland. They're like, yeah, he thought he was getting away with it. And they're like, what do you think about the Epstein? He goes, And then he said, I never had the pleasure of going there.
Of going to that island.
The pleasure.
Yeah, because he got pleasured at Epstein's house, at his own house, at Mar-a-Lago, at all the places where he was employed. And the secret even came out. The reason that him and Epstein's friendship fell apart was because Epstein was poaching Trump's little girls.
16 years old. 16
He was poaching them. That's the only reason they fell out. You stole my punani. You stole my punani.
But yet 2 years later, there's videos of them being together again. After he said and so it's his people know he was there. Yeah. They don't care. Their racism is stronger than their care. They want their racism and their desire to be what they think the supreme race is what they think is stronger than doing the right thing. And so they will pay the high groceries places. They'll pay, you've seen all over the news when Biden was president about the prices at groceries and stuff and gas prices. You don't see them talking about it now.
Oh, no. And the prices are triple.
Right. So that shows you it was never about the prices.
It's about hypocrisy. And it's about how dumb people are, because we have so many people that will jump on every iota. They'll jump on it and say, oh, this, but they won't hold both sides to the same standard. That it's just straight up hypocrisy. If they can't lie about it, then even if it's good, they'll talk it down so that people won't trust it. And that's what the GOP, the grand old pedophile party, is notorious for doing. Whitewashing, lying, making things, minimizing things that should be maximized, minimizing, pure hatred, loathing. It's disgusting. And so many of these people need to follow their own instincts and stop supporting these people who are terrible human beings. Stop buying their records. Stop watching their television shows. Turn them off. Cancel them completely from your life. Don't pay them. Don't allow them to make money off of you. At some point, we got to choose us. At some point, we have to choose us.
And I guess when you sign up for cable, you automatically get Fox News. And that should be something people should complain about too. They don't want Fox News. I cut off cable. I don't have cable. Mm-hmm. I'll watch the things I want to watch, but yeah, it's, I don't know. I just hope, I don't see him being here long. I see him leaving this earth, I keep getting something big in September. This is already going to be August. This is August. Before I got end of August, and then it was September. So it was between those two.
I still got August. I ain't giving up on August. I ain't pushing it back one iota. I want his ass gone.
I hope so. But then
what about an extension? No extensions.
What about Vance then, though?
We can't worry about that. We gotta eliminate one at a time, and that's how it's going to be.
Yeah, well, getting rid of that one will be a good one. Getting rid of the big orange demon. Yeah. And you know what? He even though he's a narcissist, he loves to be liked. Even he likes to be liked.
He has to. And that is why this is so delicious right now, because he can't stand being put in that category. And everything that he is doing is solidifying that's how he is going to be known. He's going to go down in history as a PDF file, period. Yep. That little tied up 14-year-old girl is going to be the end of him. We have been talking about that little girl the whole time, and she is going to be the thing that takes him out. Even if we never know her name or see her face, that is the catalyst.
And he's going to be known in the history books for years and years and years for what he did to this country. His name is going to be dirt. When he was in Scotland, did you see he was trying to talk and they had bagpipes? They were playing bagpipes as loud as possible to keep him from being heard. So and the protest was way bigger than his little birthday party with the tanks with the squeaky wheels. That was an embarrassment to him. So we're seeing, they said his popularity rate or his polls are down to, I think they said 28%. So even his own people, 28%, that's like the low of the low. You've got, those people that are crazy, they're cult, they're never going to change. Dale says he sees them burning
from 100 million to 280,000. That's what that means. You've gone from your quote unquote 100 million to 280,000. But he doesn't care. Again, Donnie is here to destroy. He is here to do a job. He is here to destroy the United States. So y'all, please, the one thing that I have to urge y'all is do not be putting no hope that something or somebody is going to change him, or that he's going to wake up and realize that he's doing really bad things. He knows he's doing really bad things. He's doing really bad things on purpose.
Yeah. I had my sister said, you have to forgive him. I'm like, why would I forgive somebody who's in the act of, like, if somebody's in the act of murdering you, do you forgive them while they're in the act? And, if somebody stole from me and they came back and brought the stuff back and said, my kids were hungry, I'm sorry, forgive me, here's your stuff. Yeah, then forgive them. But when somebody is in the act of doing it, I just, it's like, but nothing you can say. It was funny. They had this guy, they would say, what do you think if Biden did that? Biden doing this, and the other thing. And they were saying things Trump had done. Like, oh, I think he should be hung. I think that's terrible. He's terrible. And they go, oh, wait, I'm sorry. That was Trump that did that. Well, there must have been a good reason. Or it must be. It's like.
Yeah. They'll bend themselves into pretzels to protect a criminal, a rapist, a woman abuser. They'll twist themselves in circles and then have the nerve to call themselves a patriot.
What's worse is when women are the ones standing up. I mean, when women, it's like, I wouldn't think one woman would vote for that. But, oh, well, we'll find out. They'll be burning those hats one day. Those MAGA hats are going to be burnt.
I'm going to read. Scott says, I am now calling MAGA the Confederate Party. I can't find it on the other side.
Oh.
I am no longer candy coating it. I have no MAGA or Trump voters in my life. I don't care what they think. And again, you got to choose you at some point. You can't entertain the devil and don't think you're going to get burnt.
Cindy Lee says its stock is below $17.
Oh, who, Trump's? I believe it. Mm-hmm. I believe it. I believe it.
Yeah, I'd love to see old Pimp Daddy wearing the 70s pimp outfit.
And watch him. Oh my God. I have a sinking feeling. As soon as he commutes Ghislaine's case, he gonna set Diddy free.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, he was friends with him. And like I said, he didn't need to go to the island. The island came to him, you know?
Yeah.
He did, and it's not the only place. And it's still going on. It's still
Oh,
going
yeah.
on. These missing kids, they're where do you think these little kids, little pretty little girls? So we just, we just got to keep.
They're doing it in broad daylight right now. They're separating children from their parents, and parents have no idea where their kids are. How many kids have already been just sold straight into slavery? And that's the other thing. And I know this could get my channel taken. But again, I'm going to talk about the American doggone government because it is pure evil. It is corrupt. And people have got to stop hero worshiping people. Oh, I know there are some decent entities that are in the government, but they don't represent the government. The government itself is a corrupt demon. And we have to understand that. I'm going to keep saying this until people understand. The United States is the only nation to drop an atomic bomb on an island full of women, children, and elderly people.
And they were signing a peace deal. There was no reason. They wanted to try it out and see how it worked. And I think he's threatened to take he's got a nuclear sub or something going towards Russia. Because him and Putin are mad at each other now. So threaten
that's the setup for when Russia comes across our northern border.
What do you mean?
Because that's what's going to happen. Russia's going to invade through the northern border. I think this will be after the shift. But yeah, that's going to happen. And this is a setup. It's a whole setup. So
I tell you, you're waiting on the Anunnaki
here to watch it. Vibrate high so that you are in a great place, not on the burning rock.
Well, when you said you're waiting on the Anunnaki, I'm waiting on Yeshua Jesus. I don't care which one it is. Beam me up. I'm ready. Do you think we're going to see aliens? I know we're at the end, but do you think they're going to be here soon?
Yes, they're here.
We're seeing ships everywhere. People are getting pictures of ships everywhere.
Nah, they are here. And it's not just the Anunnaki. There's all kinds of extraterrestrial, interterrestrial, tiny little short little guys that come out of the earth that are all here. They're prepared, y'all. Yes, there will be disclosure. Yes, absolutely. This month.
This month, you're thinking?
Yes. And possibly
this should be an exciting month.
I see the culmination on the 3rd. And I'm sticking to that date. That's Sunday.
Well, I just think everybody, no matter what your beliefs, we need to pray or send light, however you believe, to this situation, to those people that are being held.
Just don't be scared. Don't be afraid of nothing. Don't be afraid of nothing. Know what you will fight for. Know what you will die for. And know what you will not even consider. That is where we need to be. Be resolved in who you are. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. If you're going to be afraid of anything, be afraid of bending your back and becoming a slave. Fight to the death for that not to happen.
Yes. And fight for what you feels right. If you see somebody that's being abused, somebody that's being treated wrong, don't stand by and just watch and say nothing, because how can you live with yourself? I mean, say something, do something, even if it means getting put in jail, even if it means,
And that's one of the things as this goes on, when we get further into the year, we're going to see how we're going to see people using their bravery, knowing that speaking out could get them arrested.
Yes.
And people will be speaking out to purposefully get arrested. The one thing that we all got to remember, there's more of us than there are of them. In any given moment, there's more of us than they are of them. We know our magic. We are beginning to know our magic. If when we put our consciousness, our intention together, we can stop anything. So I need for all the people, instead of worrying, concentrate, focus, speak into existence that which you desire, or don't. If you see ICE, if you see police abusing somebody, you stop and start speaking. Tell the universe, stop what is happening in front of my eye. Protect that person that is being beaten by the police. And instead of just recording, speak, say something. I see you, you monster, you demon. You are a horrible person. You are beating that man. Say something. Say it to them. Stop being afraid. Stop bending your knee to freaking authority and stand up and be the god or goddess that you freaking are. We are not slaves. They have tricked us into giving our power away. We don't have to stand here idly by watching our brothers and sisters disappear. Yes. We can do something, and we don't have to be violent to do it.
Well, just like those people that went to those meetings, you know, for their senators, congressmen, whatever, and they were speaking out. And remember that woman that got drug out by 3 guys, and people were going, "Let her stay, shame, shame,
but
shame."
Nobody stood up.
They could have blocked the door. They could have
stopped the policemen. They could have had them guns. They could have had them locked in that room. They could have had but see, that's the whole thing. They have placated us. They have drugged us. They have adulterated our food to make us good little chia pets.
Yeah, don't get involved. Don't get involved. They think, well, people we got to get involved. People should have been standing there, and you're seeing a woman being taken by force by people who won't identify themselves. You fight for her. You help her. What if it was your daughter? What if it was your mother? Think of that, you know? So don't just let them stand and take people. If whatever you can do. If they would all stand together, shame, shame, shame. That's nice that they said that, but they could have blocked them. They didn't do anything. They don't care about shame. They have no shame.
Anything. But you have one little black kid riding a bicycle in the wrong neighborhood, and 26 people will come out of their house to run this kid off their street. We got to do better.
And when you see that, get out of your house and go protect that little kid.
And that's it. That is it. But we have been on here over an hour, and I gotta sleep. I gotta go to sleep at some time today. I'm tired.
I gotta fix my husband dinner. I haven't eaten all day. So yeah, I probably should eat some. I had a piece of toast all day. That's what I've had. So I'm gonna go make us some dinner. So you guys, thank you so much for coming here and visiting with us. And I know we get kind of
rowdy.
Rowdy. I didn't know the word. Thank you. But
rowdy.
There's reason to be rowdy. There's righteous anger and there's good trouble.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Okay. Well,
and we need to stand up for what we believe in right now. Stand in your truth. Stand on your truth, 10 toes down, and don't let nobody take from you what is yours. But y'all, again, I'm going to say this before we end the show. Mark your house. Let this be Passover weekend. Mark your house. Put your handprint on your house. Put some black salt across your doorways, and let all this negative energy pass you by. Don't go out there getting yourself into any trouble. This is going to be a crazy weekend. Stay close to home, but have an enjoyable time. Please, y'all, it is about where you're vibrating. So don't be sitting in fear. Be sitting in power. But turn on your old music. Not the radio, though. Break out them old CDs and have yourself a little outside little party where you can kick up your heels and dance and be away from any blue screens. All right?
Mine's the BT.
Blue screens. Turn off your telephones at night and put them in a different room. If somebody needs to call you when you wake up in the morning and turn your phone on, you can call them back. But turn your phones off. This weekend, turn your phones off. Put them away from you. Turn your blue screens off. Go outside, ground, move your body, eat well, drink well, be well, vibrate as high as possible. Let all the bull crap go. Let the bull crap go. Be working on you. And I'm done.
Good words. And you're right, Tanya. You know how much time we scroll on that screen that's taken away from our loved ones, it's taken away from our family, our friends, ourselves, you know, and they want us to do that. They want us to do that. It keeps us in fear. And I'm working on that too. I'm going to do that too. Put my phone away. My husband will be very happy with you, Tanya.
Yes, he will.
He's going to probably call you and say, Tanya, thank you. She finally put that dang phone away.
All right, y'all. Well, we're going to call this a wrap. I love you. I love you. Y'all, if you are not subscribed to Deann's channel, please go over and subscribe there. Or if you're not subscribed to my channel, please go over to my channel and subscribe there. We are so appreciative of every one of you. We love you. We love you. We love you. Have a fantastic weekend.
And we'll be back once I get healed up and stuff. We'll be back and do some more because this is fun. We enjoy doing them. We enjoy spending time with you.
Well, there'll be enough to happen to where we'll have fresh stuff to talk about.
Yes.
So, y'all, we love you. Thank you for joining us for this Freaky Friday. All right. We love you. Have a fantastic rest of your evening. Bye-bye, y'all. Namaste.